crown like cold winter light, scroll in hand, seven seals, every word cuts and heals. Like drums, sword raised high, kingdoms come, peace unstitched by a single roar. I hear thunder at my door, wars and rumors of wars, spoken like a curse in the dark. Every headline, every scar is another cracked heart in the ark. Wars and rumors of wars, hey, echo from the prophets and seers. When the Lamb breaks the seal, all the old world shakes with our fears. Black horse ways, bread and bone, steel stilled hard, iron stone. Measure grain by a dying sun, silver short for everyone. Pale horse waits, eyes like ash, graves awake, tombs unlatch, Hades hangs on a trailing chain, every pulse spells your name. Wars and rumors of wars, spoken like a curse in the dark. Every headline, every scar's another cracked heart in the ark. Wars and rumors of wars, whoa, echo from the prophets and seers. When the Lamb breaks the seal, all the old world shakes with our fear. Fifth seal opens. How long? How long? Blood at the altar becomes a song. Sex seal shatters, sky like glass. Kings of the earth hide in the cracks.
Check.
Wars and rumors of wars, spoken like a curse in the dark. Every headline, every scar is another cracked heart in the ark. Wars and rumors of wars, echo from the prophets and seers. When the Lamb breaks the seal, all the old world drowns in its
All right, we're about to get started. Hit that like. Here we come. Here we go. And welcome to the show, everybody. There we are. Hi, welcome. Good to see you. Hit the like, share the show. It's Hal Sparks, Megaworldwide. The negotiations are going fantastically. There are no more negotiations. The negotiations have gone so well that peace was declared, and it was so much peace all at once that the Iranians and the Americans both decided, we don't like it. It's too much peace. We like things the way they were. And yeah. Okay, good idea. So here we go about turning on the ads after the YouTube live stream. That's smart. Thank you. And CSL, another thing to add to our bug list. Things I can bug you about. All right. So let's see. There was a response from the Iranians about the deal making that was happening. I don't know why people think there wouldn't be, but there kind of was. Let's see if it's over here. Maybe they're just saying make MIGA, make Iran great again. Let's see. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the strategic power you boasted about.
تبدیل به شکست راهبردی شده. مدعی ابرقدرتی
if the world's supposed superpower could escape
دنیا اگر میتوانست از این مخمسه رها
this
شود
predicament,
تا
it would
حالا
have happened. So America would have gotten out if they could.
شده بود.
By
اسمش
now, don't call your defeat an agreement. Ouch. That's sorry. I'll read the subtitles. I don't speak Arabic or Farsi. Don't call your defeat an agreement. Ow, goddamn. Ow. Whew.
دستتان را توافق نگذارید.
Yeah, man, totally. True. The era of your promises has ended. Well, I don't know. Have you talked to maggots lately? They think it ended a long time
دوران
ago.
وعده‌هایتان به سر
Which promises are we talking about? Are we talking like 2015 promises, or the ones he made to his wives, or what Epstein made him promise? It's hard to keep track.
رسیده. امروز در
Today
جهان
in the world, there are two fronts. All right, don't front.
دو جبهه وجود دارد. حق و
Truth
باطل.
and falsehood. Two fronts. Truth and falsehood. That's the same front, my friend. Where they collide, I guess. All right. And no free truth seeker is deceived.
در حق طلب آزادی
And you're starting to sound like somebody on Flashpoint.
تحت تاثیر امواج رسانه‌ای
By your media propaganda waves. Yeah, we haven't got our propaganda game down at all. Like they've been. Here's the problem: Trump's been coasting on MAGA for so long, he doesn't actually think he has to do any propaganda anymore. It's just bullshit sometimes. It's not even it's just a flat out lie. It's not. I guess the only propaganda we really have, if I got to be honest, is when Trump's cabinet talks to him. Like they're throwing propaganda his direction. But yeah, we're not seeing big placards of like steel-jawed Americans looking into the sunrise while holding a hoe. That's what I'm holding, just in case you were wondering. Shame on you. Here we go.
شما اغوا نمی‌شود.
By your media propaganda waves. Okay.
سطح خود
Your conflicts have reached the stage
درگیری‌هایتان به
of
مرحله مذاکره خود
negotiating with yourselves. Why don't you go and negotiate with yourself? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you take it on the fucking heel and toe and go negotiate with yourself, all right? Negotiate yourself, you dumb.
با خودتان رسیده نه خبری
There will be no news of your
از
investments
سرمایه‌گذاری‌هایتان در منطقه خواهد
in the region. No, well, I don't know what you mean. Like if he blew up one of his golf courses or killed one of his business partners, it'd be in the news, even if it meant it was damaging his. I mean, it's news either way. Is all I'm saying.
و نه قیمت سابق انرژی
Nor will you see the previous price of energy and
نفت را
oil
خواهید دید تا
until you understand that
وقتی که
stability
بفهمید ثبات در منطقه
in the region is
توسط
guaranteed by the
دست
powerful hand.
قدرتمند نیروها
Oh yes, but stable oil prices through strength. That's our policy. Is it in the teleprompter to make a fist? Also, he's married. They wear it on the right hand over there.
مسلح ما تضمین می‌شود.
Continuation of previous segment. Sorry, I shouldn't read the stage directions.
ثبات از طریق قدرت.
Stability through power. Is that peace through strength? I guess they've given up on peace a long time ago.
صراحتاً
We clearly declare that until it
اعلام
is
می‌کنیم تا موعدی که اراده ما
our
نباشد
will, get it?
هیچ وضعیت
No situation will return to its previous state. Back to normal. I think it's probably
به روال سابق برنمیگردد.
or abnormal. I mean, we're in the snafu presidency right now. Anyways, situation normal, all fucked up.
الرحمن الرحیم.
Okay, and then that's where it starts again. So I guess we have a deal then. I mean, nobody speaks that crap at the State Department, right? Nobody's whatever, dude. I heard agreement. I don't know about you. I heard them kind of, landing on our side. I think probably the most confusing thing, I don't know, I need to go to the seer of seers, the prognosticator of prognosticator, the person who can give me the clearest answer on whether or not we should support Trump's war in this situation or not. It's hard to even say. We'll find out right now. Let's go to somebody who can clear this all up for us that is not Glenn Beck or Greg Kelly, but perhaps, all right, well, it's Silk, everybody. Ask and ye shall receive. Silk is on a show called Diamond and Silk. Diamond died of COVID because she wouldn't get the jab, and I think I think she caught it out of spite. So this is a message from Silk, who else are you going to support? Like, Trump is maybe rock bottom, but what are you going to do? Dig?
You say, I'm not going to support Trump. Well, then who else
Right.
you going to support?
I don't know. Maybe they'll try to draft Mark Cuban or Bezos or something like that. I mean, like an actual billionaire this time. Maybe you should try you tried a businessman. You just didn't qualify whether he'd be a successful businessman. So you kind of stuck with this dickhead. So maybe try a successful businessman next time. Maybe that's what they're going to do. Also, John Thune is a lot taller and has a very square jaw. I think they're going that way. You fit him with Tom Cotton or the other Ichabod Crane lookalike, Josh Hawley. Yeah, I mean, you got a ticket. It's not much of one. I mean, I know they're talking about Marco Rubio and JD, or in one order or another, or Hegseth and Marco Rubio. Look, I understand. It's hilarious, and Republicans, especially this current batch, are not going to vote for a person of color or even somebody who's tangentially even viewed as a person of color. So yeah, I think you win the 5 eggs award.
5 eggs.
So yeah, here's the thing. I think they're going to support him just from a distance. You know what I mean? They're not going to do it in the voting booth. They'll still love him. They'll still show up at his funeral and throw their hat on his, I don't know if he's going to be an open casket. Probably not. It depends on if they can get it closed, I suppose.
A party that's okay with chopping off little boys' balls?
I'm not okay with chopping off little boys' balls. For the record, I'm not. As a duly designated representative of the actual Democrats, that's not even close to being one of the goals. I'm not. Yeah. And by the way, this is your alternative. Look, we can either have World War III, where more children were killed in that school dead than will probably transition in the next 2 decade maybe.
Think about it. What else?
Okay, all right, hold on. I'm gonna everybody, hey, chat room, time to think about it. Cutting off little boys' balls. I don't even know why that would come to mind. I don't even know what I mean, there's so many things to think about. Why would that jump to the front? It's really confusing. Yeah, I don't want to think about that anymore. And then, or World War 3.5, World War 4, 4.5. Are we at 4.2 beta at this point? All right, I'm done thinking about it. I didn't support him in the first place, so I'm not going to start now. How about that?
You gonna support? Huh?
Huh?
Let me calm down. I'm gonna save it for the show, y'all.
You're going to save it for the show? What? Sorry, is there an hour of that same sentiment over and over again? I feel you. So that's what they like. Who else are you going to vote for? I mean, it really is. It's a incredibly motivating idea. You know what I mean? It's like it's a shock to the system. It's riveting. It'll get you up off the couch. Well, what the fuck else you gonna do? It's All right, now, okay, we're just doing ridiculous takes today. Newsmax, and I don't know why, had on another, they're just on a lazy Susan of people who've been in the Epstein files a lot. And Dershowitz is in there, and this is the take. So get ready for this one. Iran is, quote, the most important war we have fought. Alan Dershowitz. Okay, at least qualify within your lifetime, because without the Revolutionary War or the Civil War, it might be the most important foreign war we fought, maybe? Is that what you're going for? I still don't think so, but maybe maybe there should be an asterisk on fucking everything these days.
Let's bring in world-renowned attorney, professor.
And Epstein client and buddy, an enabler, supporter, fellow traveler.
Emeritus at Harvard Law School and all.
Which is, again, the fact that Ted Cruz graduated from there is bad enough.
Author of The Preventative State, Alan Dershowitz.
Really? That's the title? The Preventative State? What do you want to make everybody feel like they have a stutter? Preventative? The Preventative State. Yeesh. How long did it take you to shit that thing out?
Professor, thank you.
Also, is there a chapter in there about lowering the age of consent to 12? I'm fucking with you. Of course there is.
Thank you so much for joining us. What do you think about Bibi saying that the world needs to coalesce behind it and
what the world needs now is bombs, sweet bombs.
Go against Iran?
This is the most important war since 1939, since Nazi Germany.
All right, well, so it's qualified a little
If
bit.
Iran is allowed to develop nuclear bombs.
Also, technically, we haven't had a war since then. They've all been police actions or some shit.
He will do what Hitler did, and there will be millions and millions of deaths.
He's going to invade France?
Had President Trump been in charge in 1935, 1936, I think the Holocaust would have been prevented. I think he would have gone in after Nazi Germany. He would have destroyed it the way he is destroying Nazi Iran.
Sorry, what? You think the America First crowd, which was literally that they got their name from the Americans that were siding with Hitler and didn't want to go into World War II, those people would have supported Trump in going in faster than we did. We would have, according to this dickhead, Trump would have gone in before there was a Pearl Harbor. Oh, boy.
And the Holocaust would have been prevented. We're preventing
fucking gibberish.
Another Holocaust, a nuclear Holocaust that Iran would clearly inflict not only on Israel.
Yeah, we did that last summer, dude. Catch up.
But on Europe. We now know that his rockets can reach Europe, and ultimately on the
but not
United States. So this is the most
not ultimately the United States.
Important war.
No, they do not have rockets that can reach the United States. They barely have rockets that can reach fucking Turkey.
We have fought since the Second World War, and every decent person ought to join it. And the Democrats ought to join it in the United States, but they're not, because they're putting partisanship before national security.
Well, I mean, I guess that's got to be the sales pitch. What else do you have? What other defense can you possibly have?
Former director of the...
Sorry, did you just eat a hoagie? What happened? What the fuck?
Before national security.
Former director...
Yeah, I think she tossed back a White Castle slider.
The U.S. National Counterterrorism Center, Joe Kent, he said that Iran did not pose an imminent threat and that the decision to go to war...
By the way, I just had a great idea for a series, The Man from the White Castle. And it's what would have happened if the South won the war. And the entire government was overrun by inbred rednecks. It's kind of like a cross between Idiocracy and Man in High Castle. Oh, Hula, thank you so much. Taco. Aloha. Dershowitz needs to STFU. Impeach Taco. I agree.
Was improperly influenced by external pressure, meaning, of course, the big bad boogeyman that everybody loves to blame now is Israel. Let's take a listen to what he said here.
Well, not everybody. I would like to say for the record, I definitely think they contributed, and certainly, Netanyahu's predictable in what he would want to do here. But I would like to remind everybody that Trump has a lot of business partners in his World Liberty Financial, and they're not in Israel. They're in Qatar, and they're in Saudi Arabia, and they're in UAE. And this the Live Golf tournament and all that shit, like, you think that partnerships, just because they were broing out over golf? MBS knew Epstein too. There are pictures of MBS with Epstein. There are not pictures of MBS with Netanyahu, I don't think. So I'm just saying, don't keep your powder dry when you're letting Netanyahu have it emotionally, vitriolically, whatever. But, save a little something.
The Israelis drove the decision to take this action, which we knew would set off.
Sorry, so they're behind the wheel in Trump's empty fucking head.
A series of events, meaning the Iranians would retaliate.
Professor, your response to that?
Tisk. Just tisk. Just go ahead and tisk.
We're seeing an attempted coup within the Republican Party.
Everybody, can I refer you to January 6th of 2020?
By
One.
neo-Nazi fascists led by Kemp, who is a clear neo-Nazi fascist.
Sorry, what? Kemp? The governor or ex-governor of Georgia? Kent, I think is what you mean.
And
he said Kemp, didn't he? Am I drunk? Hold on.
Led by Kemp, who is...
Yes, he said Kemp. There is no Kemp. It's Kent.
A clear neo-Nazi fascist.
Right. Well, that's why Trump gave him the job in the first place. So he doesn't understand why the guy doesn't just like killing. Maybe he mistook him for like the prison neo-Nazi guys who just love the killing. You know, the like skinhead full of tattoos, responsible 2% of the population in prison, but responsible for like 35% of the deaths by murder. That he maybe thought it was those guys instead of like the old-fashioned Nazis who just, you know, want to live long enough to eat cream pie with some French woman who runs a theater in town and wear really snazzy outfits.
And then also by Tucker Carlson, by Fuentes, by Owens, we're seeing an attempt by these neo-Nazis to take over the Republic.
Yes, Candace Owens, black, female, neo-Nazi. Don't think, to all you people who say we're not making progress, I got to tell you,
Republican Party.
Diversity is their strength in terms of the neo-Nazis.
Fortunately, good Republicans, headed by President Trump, are stopping it. And President Trump said, these
are they though? People
are not MAGA. These people are not my people. But they're trying to take over the Republican Party. And Kent blames Jews for everything. You know, he blamed the Jews for the Iraq War. Israel was against the Iraq War. I know because I spoke to Prime Minister Sharon. He spoke to President Bush and urged him not to go into Iraq. But according...
Yeah, but it was clearly some Hebrew magic, you know. It was probably some old-fashioned, what is it, the Kabbalah? That's what it was. Kabbalah. He used the Kabbalah to trick him into it was the old rope-a-dope reverse psychology.
To Kent, anything that was bad had to be the Jews. This has to end. The Republican Party has to disassociate itself.
Yeah, it's not going to.
From its fascist neo-Nazi wing, which is growing within the Republican Party.
Yeah, it's more like the voice of it is growing because the sentiment was always there, asshole.
Particularly among young people. And it's a real threat to America, to democracy, to...
Not really. No, it's your fucking problem.
American Jews, to Israel, and to American values. And we have to put an end to it now.
So, okay. First of all, why would someone else's horrible values be an affront to good values, my values, at all? Wouldn't it just be a contrast? So fucking weak. Anyways, that's Dershowitz's take. Most important war we fought since World War II. Now, staying with our theme this evening, ladies and gentlemen, of from the sublime to the ridiculous to the sublimely fucking stupid. Benny Johnson, who is trying his damnedest to avoid talking about Trump and Epstein and Iran and gas prices and food prices and shit hitting the fan, is all up in the alien business lately. And there were green fireballs allegedly seen across the country. Insofar as I know, the alleged green fireballs, which are probably low Earth orbit satellites burning up on reentry. There's a shit ton of the Starlink things that fall out of the sky all the time. But apparently there were these, again, the thing about a UFO or something important is that they can change trajectory. It is not weird or peculiar at all in the universe as a whole for an object to travel through space, pass into our atmosphere, and fall and either burn up or whatever. Meteor showers and that kind of stuff, not a big deal. It's when they go that way. That's when it would be news. Otherwise, Jesus. All right. And apparently it's happening. Green fireballs light up the night sky across America. Which I don't know if this is an alien reference or if, because I haven't pre-watched it, but it could also be that Benny Johnson just is a thing for frog nuts. I can't say. Yeah, downtown is not that close to the hills. I'm just not buying it. That's one of the problems I have with some modern action movies. You can't take a left on Pico and be headed towards the ocean, and then, after you cross the 405 or across La Brea, don't get me started, make a right on La Cienega, and then left on Santa Monica and end up downtown. Doesn't work that way.
I will never claim to be smarter than you.
Well, probably a smart move. Probably your smartest move.
I am you. I was raised in the middle of nowhere, a place called Shoeyville, Iowa. I went to community college in the middle of a hog farm next to a cornfield.
Why was it in the middle of a hog farm? I mean, I understand it being surrounded by hog farms, but that's a stench, buddy. That would explain a lot.
Then I went to a state school, the University of Iowa. After community college, I didn't go to the Ivy Leagues.
Right, yeah, we've never thought you're special, and
that's about it. I consider myself a room temperature IQ. I just work hard and, well...
Sorry, if someone has a room temperature IQ, you're talking 70s? Something like that? Perhaps if you believe that about yourself for real, you should step away from the microphone. You are clearly doing more damage, more harm than good.
Pattern recognition, anybody can do it.
No, if you have a room temperature IQ, your patterns will be malformed. You will create patterns where there are none. You will turn correlation into causation as a pathology.
And we happen to do it because we're just obsessed with news and we're constantly monitoring the...
Are we? Sorry, are your pronouns we were?
Situation? I think quite well. But that's about it. That's our only...
Well, of course you think quite well. You have a room temperature IQ. Sorry, you can't set up the entire premise of this by saying you're stupid and then not expect me to read everything you do going forward through the lens of, this guy's fucking stupid. What?
Superpower, and, well, we encourage you to join us in the chat.
Oh, pattern recognition is not a superpower. And also, again, you can see a pattern where there is none. That's what stupid people do. Carry on.
If you have any specific patterns you happen to notice.
You mean my tartan son? What kind of patterns are we talking about? Am I looking at the tails on the ground and recognizing that someone staggered these fucking things so that they look all, but what kind of patterns are we doing? I see patterns where there are none. I look up at the stars at night and go, I think those are moving. Or I might be drunk.
Here's one that we've noticed as of late. Fireballs in the sky.
Sorry, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Check this out. Fireball in sky.
Meteor causes loud boom across southeast Texas. Yeah, I know that's what you Googled because you're fucking stupid. But when you got the news, it was because there was a meteor. Space rock, shithead.
Here we go, from one day ago. Video shows a bright fireball in Northern California.
Yeah, it's a meteor.
Kind of terrifying. Colorful.
Only if you're like if it's headed towards you, I guess.
Fireball streaks across the sky in Colorado. Meteor lights up the sky in Texas, produces many loud booms. Many people say.
Many people say all these articles. I'm scrolling through a page.
People across the Pacific Northwest report green fireball in the sky. Fireball lit up the skies over Oregon. Would you look at this? Hancock County fireball.
Sounds like a meteor shower.
2 fireballs light up the sky in Michigan.
That's, by the way, a thermographic picture of the sun and not a meteor, so fuck Facebook.
Oh, man. And if you start actually looking through...
Yeah, bro. The videos? Fuck, man. They, like, show them and stuff, and they, like...
The international headlines, you'll start to notice that it seems like they're preparing us for something.
Yes, they're preparing you for an upgrade, I think, of your pattern recognition software.
Oh, wow. U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency has just purchased aliens.gov.
We saw this last week. You can't keep bringing this up every time you need to fill a hole caused by the Epstein files, asshole.
Donald Trump has just ordered the release of all the alien files.
Uh-oh. Dun, dun. Sorry. Wait. 3, 2, 1. Sound music is there. Try to make themes and where does it go? That's not it. It's wow. It's in the sound effect. Yeah, there it is. Cause she's gone. Oh, I gotta learn how to deal and she's gone. The page is gone. Oh, the site can't be reached now. This site can't be reached. Check if there is a typo in aliens.gov. No. There is not. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. This is...
After Barack Obama said that there were aliens. This is aliens.gov, by the way.
Yeah, statistically speaking.
Right now.
I didn't say there were aliens here.
It is not on.
And he specifically said they weren't at Area 51, which that's because they're at Wright-Patterson. We all know that. Come on.
Line yet. But they bought it right in time for, of course, the top.
Jesse Waters. Please tell me. Oh yeah, this is the about the alien tracker that disappeared, right?
UFO scientists in the U.S. military and in the country to all go missing at the same time.
Well, I think I know. I'm pretty sure where they went. Hold on. That's right. I'm fairly certain I know where they went. I think I've got a picture of it. Yeah, we have a picture of them picking it up. Hold on, let's see if I can do this. Okay, get out of here. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah, this is where they went. They all got on the ship. I don't know if you remember, but one of the ships landed and they volunteered to go. That's what they were setting up for in 1978 or whatever. Whenever that was. Am I right? Okay, so let's go back to where's bend over. Come on now. Yeah, there we go.
This is a real story. It's really happening. 5 missing scientists send chills across America. 3 are dead. What is the troubling link? They all studied UFOs. They were all physicists working inside of classified.
At Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. Shit, sorry. Right at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Chicago. Thank you. Good God. How are we supposed to keep it there? Hold on. It's this. I really gotta work on my sound effects guy. Slacking.
Bases. All of them had great pedigrees when it comes to the UFO programs, or whatever they're called.
UAP programs. Spooky spooky stuff, program, Operation Spooky Stuff, Operation Scaredy Cat, X-Files. That's what it was. I was trying to remember.
Inside of the black box of our intel agencies and military. Conspiracy theorists realizing they're about to be right again.
Well, they were wrong about that mustache. And the shirt.
Do you think that you're about to be right again? I mean, a member of Congress was on my show this morning saying that he's really concerned about what's going on with the missing UFO scientists. It seems like somebody's trying to get ahead of the big announcement.
Well, what do you think these guys were going to spill so you killed them? You don't think the aliens would be a little pissed that you killed their friends?
What's the big announcement? Well, NASA just said they're about to build a moon base. NASA.
If the aliens will let us. Also, those vehicles are very Space 1999, and I don't know how they got a Toyota truck on their moon, but
has projected.
What will they think of next?
A plan for a $20 billion moon base. Transformative initiatives. Learn more about our moon base and our Mars base. Oh,
yeah, they're not hiding this very well. You're right. What kind of secret program is this?
Great. Okay. Just in time for all the fireballs to appear. Okay, so let's go ahead and read what's going on here with these fireballs.
Yeah, tell me about the fireball. Tell me about balls. You seem to have balls on your mind, Benny. Tell us about balls. Balls.
More importantly, let's go look at some of them.
Yeah,
right?
Let's go. Yes, let's all go with Benny Johnson and look at balls.
I love that feeling. Zipper hoods have got the goods. Oh.
Have a good time. Let's not be afraid to look at fiery balls. But I would see a doctor.
The largest fireball spotted this year appeared in the sky across California last night.
Says you.
What does it look like? Goodness gracious. This is somebody's Ring camera.
Oh, so you know the quality is good. Also kind of looks like ball lightning.
This is a wild video.
Nah, it's not really.
You'd tend to think, wow, then maybe this is AI, but it's not. This video was shared multiple times, multiple credible.
Or maybe something entered the earth and we shot it. Looks like we blasted it out of the sky. Look at that. The Golden Dome. They're testing the Golden Dome.
This is a legitimate security video. Here's a meteorite flying over Ohio.
What? How did that happen? What the? This is because you know why this is happening? Because Democrats won't fund ICE.
Observe. Right here.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's the Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz.
That meteorite.
Or it might have been Santa. I gotta say, there's a little Santa to its lilt. Look at that.
Observe. Right here.
Oh, the weather outside. Jingle. See what I mean?
That meteorite is getting very close to the ground.
Fucking gravity, am I right? Thank you.
Striking the ground.
Oh dear. But it's time for the ground to strike back. The ground. Why is the ground hitting back?
A lot of fireball meteorites sightings lately. I've never seen anything like this.
That's the same one.
Compiled videos, every single event I could find and put them all in one. I counted 8 separate sightings. Okay, let's go ahead and look. Ohio and Pennsylvania. Look at this right in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I might find out that Trump's Space Force is shooting down Russian satellites in response to them giving intel to the Iranians, but they're keeping it on the down low so that they don't expose that we have, military satellites that can actually knock satellites out of the sky. That would be my guess.
Something entering our atmosphere. Ohio again, but a different view inside of a truck dash cam. There you go.
Did you make a wish?
See that? Right across the sky. Here's Missouri.
Teacher says every time Benny Johnson's a dumb shit, an angel gets her wings. Oh, that's right. That's right.
East Bernard, Texas.
What? Hey,
More
that was
fireballs, right? You can see the umpire.
during a little league game, and I think that was high and outside. Thank you.
Unbothered. Here as a
Unbothered. They didn't see it, stupid. And why would you be bothered?
fireball shoots across the sky.
Yeah, why aren't you pants shitting right now? Why not?
Dash camera. Oof, right there. California. Again. And
Can you what are we watching? How what kind of a massive, I'm trying to say this nicely, weakling do you have to be to get like panicked watching videos of meteors? They happen.
here is in Portland and Seattle. Whoa. I mean, goodness gracious. Look at the size of it.
That's what she said. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Look at that.
That one was lime flavored.
Okay. NASA just confirmed a green fireball was spotted hundreds of witnesses in western U.S. on Sunday night. NASA.
So what is it? Copper oxidizing. So it was a meteorite with copper, and as it oxidized, it put off a green mist because of the stuff flying off of it as the heat oxidized.
Stressed that this fireball isn't related to the other 8 that we have seen this week.
Yeah, bullshit. It's not. Like, I can only take so much. Okay. Traveling packs these things.
Oh, great. Okay. So here's our massive green fireball. One of the 8 that we have seen this week. There it is. Goodness. Okay. Another meteor spotted in Ohio. Something very strange is happening.
Well, maybe they're landing because they know we're going to start World War 4.5 and it's going to be fucked up. So they're here to stop us by blowing up everybody's nukes. Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, honestly, we're their little fishbowl experiment. You know, they land here millennia ago, mix their DNA with apes. I'm sure in a lab. They were not fucking monkeys. And then they've been raising us like their kids and trying to help us along the way. A little tough love now and again. But now it's one of those things, we're about to drive our tricycle into traffic. So they're like showing up to go, okay. That was close.
Okay. See it. A third meteor spotted this week streaks across the sky in California. This is the 4th one observed this month.
Oh my God. It's a trend. It's a pattern. Where I recognize the pattern now.
This one was green. Any explanation as to why it's green?
Yeah, I'm going to go with copper oxidation. This is off the top of my head. Wait, you want me to check? Shit. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Bum. Hey, what's going on? All right. Let's see. I'm gonna open up one of these things and go. Good copper oxidation make a meteor appear green as it burns up on entry. If not, what could cause it? Besides little green men riding it like a horsey. Okay. Oh, sorry, it's not copper. I'm such an asshole. It's nickel and magnesium. Think about it, because there's not copper. There's not that much copper in meteors. Yeah, I should have thought about that. So yeah, nickel and magnesium, or nickel by itself. Probably the combination of nickel and magnesium is why it has a haze of green around it instead of a streak of green, which would be caused by nickel. I'm going to go with that. Yeah, nickel and magnesium.
NASA confirmed the green fireball that was spotted streaking across the sky.
Did we need them to confirm it? It's on video, isn't it? Fire in the sky. Can't you see that all my castles are burning? Sorry, sometimes Ozzy just flows.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know.
Well, what is it exactly?
It's the final Epstein drop.
Green comet meteorite, number 11 in
Yeah, it's not a comet. It's definitely not a comet.
just the same week. People are starting to notice. It's really going to be biblical.
No, it really isn't.
Meanwhile, last night,
Because if it was biblical, you wouldn't know if it was, because that's how that's what the book says.
over Michigan. There you can see, right up there.
No, you can't. That's an airplane. It comes on the other side. Sorry, show everyone again how you have a room temperature IQ.
Meanwhile, last night over Michigan. There you can see, right up there.
No, you can't. Nope, it's something else.
Another green meteorite over Michigan. Sorry if I'm just a noticer that I...
Benny Johnson, professional noticer.
You know?
Yeah. That's what I notice things. I notice things. I notice things. I was thinking about becoming a notary until they told me that doesn't mean just you walk around officially noticing things. And I was like, oh shit. So
Not illegal to notice, and the noticing will continue.
you're right. It is not illegal to notice things, and the noticing will continue until morale improves.
Green fireball spotted over the sides of Portland and Seattle.
Yeah, we saw that one already.
Here's a different
Old news.
angle from home footage. Goodness, look at that.
Yeah, it could be Hal Jordan re-entering the atmosphere. That is also another possibility.
Meteorite streaked across the sky of North Philadelphia.
Yeah, it looks like it's falling down directly.
See-
That might have just been embers from from somebody's campfire over their shoulder.
Easier to count the cities that don't have giant green meteorites flying across them. What is going on?
Meteor shower.
Well, some people are posting stuff like this. In the world of AI, I never quite believe this stuff, right? It's like if this was actually happening.
Yeah, especially because if you tilt down, you can see the gray alien, and he drops a couple of the tennis balls. So it's not even that impressive.
Legitimate. It seems like it would be way all over the news.
Yeah, bro. Way all over the news.
All right, people saying strange lights in the sky above Wales. Some of the stuff can be explained through, just commercial aircraft.
Okay, I was waiting for that one. Some of this stuff could be okay. Sure. I mean, I would go with helicopters specifically because they tend to change direction, and if you don't have a good sense of perspective, it can look kind of amazing to where you are, but really, it's not a big deal.
Satellites, whatever.
Yeah, just satellites. That's a good one.
But yeah, it's worth asking a question. Luminous UFO has been spotted in the skies over Brazil. Shifted from stationary to moving before fading off into the distance.
Just Benny is terrified at this point. But I guess fear correlates to IQ. So the dumber you are, the easier it is to scare you. That explains so much about how maggots have to be dragged to the polls by fear.
Can't tell.
Well, that's a sad moment for all of us.
I don't know. But I do know this, that predictive programming is a real thing.
Predictive programming is a real thing. So they are making us believe this shit because they're getting ready to show it to us for real. So instead of waiting for the real thing to show us, they're showing us some stuff that they're not letting us notice. Why? Sorry, start again. Why would you need to predictively program people if it's true?
And it sure as hell seems like something is about to break when it comes to the UFO topic. Everything from President Trump saying that Barack Obama made a big mistake by talking about classified information to, well, the
giant balls,
strange mystery disappearances of members of the UFO community, to the sheer number of insane meteorites that everyone has been seeing.
Although, I don't know what makes them insane. I think the best story is the disappearing scientists, because, that's statistically quite the anomaly. I would just stick with that one. But then I don't have a room temperature IQ.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, we know.
You just get that sense, right?
No, what sense are you talking about?
What will it be and what will actually end up happening? Stay tuned.
Sorry, you think you're going to break this story? You think aliens are going to show up and everybody's going to go, Benny, tell us if it's real. Yeah, just stick with, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. All right. I guess this is again, the state of MAGA when, Trump and Crow have been, eating shit around the economy and the war in Iran and the Epstein files. And what are you going to cover? You're probably praying for an alien invasion. He's like, thank God we don't have to talk about this shit anymore. Somebody asked the aliens what age of consent is. Now, I want to show everybody, I watched this with Summer earlier. They had a figure 3 walk in with Melania at this event. And she had to slow down to keep pace with it because it wasn't that fast. But it can be faster. They've got it throttled so that it doesn't kill anybody, or people won't be afraid of it. Also, I want you to see if this doesn't play straight into Candace Owens' hands. I want to see if they. Yeah. So, and by the way, this is autonomous. This thing knows where it's supposed to walk and it knows what it's supposed to say. That is Brigitte Macron right next to Melania with these other first ladies and people like that. And that alone should panic the shit out of maggots, just that she's got pole position. So here's figure 3.
Thank you, First Lady Melania Trump, for inviting me to the White House. It is an honor to be at Fox.
Because there are women there, it's got a woman's voice.
During the Future Together's Global Coalition inaugural meeting. I'm figure 3, a humanoid built in the United States of America. I am grateful to be part of this historic movement to empower children with technology and education. Welcome. Bienvenidos. Yokoso. Bienvenue. Bem-vindos. Ahlan wa sahlan. Shagatam.
How do you think maggots felt when it spoke Arabic? Hold on. This is fucking amazing. Hold on.
Bem-vindos. Ahlan wa sahlan.
Ahlan wa sahlan. Like, there's a robot Muslim in the fucking White House.
Shagatam. Mogisal mebet. Bruchim abaim. Laskavo prosimo. Dobrodoshli. Thank you.
Dobrodoshli. I don't know why I got a Valley Girl accent on that one, because it doesn't matter. Nobody gives a shit about European pronunciation, except maybe Castilian Spanish, I suppose. But the fact it has a woman's voice is pretty fascinating, considering it is the male form body, I guess, just whatever. And then when it's done, when it's thinking and moving on to its next thing, it has its little figure logo that pops up. And then it fucks off. And it walks all the way back. And Melania reads a little, thank you, figure 3, talking to it. Now, I want to see if... Yeah. Walks all the way back, and then she sits down.
Welcome. You're my first American. But moreover, it is my...
Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to the White House. Figure 3, thank you for joining me at day 2.
Yes, figure 3 has left the building. Figure 3, thank you for... it's in kill mode.
of fostering the future together. It's fair to state you're my first American-made humanoid guest in the White House.
It's funny that you are my first guest and you left without, where are you going? Did not give permissions.
But moreover, it is my distinct honor to receive such an impressive group of leaders today. 40% your
Hold on. Okay, I've got to show you you C-SPAN, you silly people. For the Robotic, there you go. Yeah, here it is. Fostering the Future Coalition Summit. This is what the thing.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so
the first thing.
So let me show you. So that remember what Candace Owens has said about Brigitte Macron? Anybody remember what Candace Owens has said about Brigitte Macron? That she's really a man, and that Emmanuel Macron was like poached as a boy by a trans woman, and right? Okay, so first of all, Figure 3 comes out as a voice of a woman. Now listen to the translator for Brigitte Macron.
Merci.
Thank you very much, Melania. Thank you for bringing us here together. We had dreamed of this actually in 2018. We had talked about it during the state visit.
They got to be fucking with her, right? Yeah, they had a man do the voice. I think that's got to be, they're throwing a bone to Candace Owens in this one. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we've seen this. Hold on one second. I can bring this in. Piece of good news real quick. This is Emily Gregory, everybody. She just won the state house seat in the district in Florida that controls the area around Mar-a-Lago. And they get her reaction to winning.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How does it feel?
Surreal. We all worked so hard, but for the day to finally be here and go through all the human emotions that the day brought, and then to come out on top, it's just incredible. I'm so proud and I'm so overjoyed.
You were emotional inside when you were speaking. What was that about?
I saw some of my mentors. I saw Ann Gannon, former representative, tax collector. She's been in my corner since the beginning. Ruthless, the pro-choice advocacy group, has been side by side with me the whole time. And to see those people that have been there since at the time that no one believed in us, that everyone thought we were crazy for saying we could win this seat. Everyone said it was out of reach. So to see all of those people and all the volunteers have been working for 8 months side by side with us, it's just so touching, and I'm so grateful.
What made you believe that the seat was not out of reach?
I just think I know my neighbors. I talk to my community. You know, I'm a small business owner. I'm on the school advisory council, and I'm always in community. And when I talk to my neighbors, it doesn't really matter what your political stripe is, we all want the same things. And we want safety and security and prosperity, and we all see the same affordability issues that we want tackled. And they're not being tackled in Tallahassee. So I think if not me, who, and if not now, when?
Look out.
What about President Trump's endorsement of your opponent, John Maples? Do you think
that certainly helped her?
That hurt your opponent?
That'll be up for them to decide in the post game. I just try to really stay really disciplined and focused and on the voters, not on any of the noise outside.
You flipped this seat from red to blue. Now,
yes, the only important job right now.
Since President Trump's term started, the Democrats have flipped more than 20 legislative seats. You're just adding to that. How does that feel?
I think it's a real reaction to the current policies at the national and state level. And I think that is a clear indication from voters it's the wrong track. And go ahead, legislatures, go ahead, representatives, focus on property insurance, healthcare, education, focus on the things that Floridians care about.
When I spoke to one Democratic voter who supported you today, she told me that when the seat does flip, she believed it would, that it would send a message to President Trump that even his neighbors aren't happy with him. What do you make of that?
That's an interesting analysis. Could be. I've never met President Trump, so I can't speak to his.
By the way, I think she snubbed, like he reached out or something, like they did some sort of olive branchy thing, and I think she didn't take the call.
Mindset.
But what did you hear from voters? Are they unhappy?
They're unhappy with the direction of Florida, and they want to see, they don't want $4 gas. They don't want their public schools gutted. They don't want property insurance still tripled. They want these issues tackled, and they have state policy solutions. So let's find them.
I heard you say it takes a special flower to somebody tonight, describing yourself to do what you did. What do you mean by that?
I think it takes a healthy confidence, ego, you could call it.
I would call it that.
And just a real willingness to work hard, to get to every single door, to talk to every single voter, and to listen, to really hear what's important to your neighbors.
President Trump is one of your constituents now. If you run into him or have a chance to speak with him, what would you say?
I'd be interested to know what his top concerns are at the state level.
Excellent. Thank you.
Well, I don't know. Like, these pussies aren't going to grab themselves. What can I say?
Thank you so much.
Well, I lost one of my favorite buddies. He was a neighbor.
Congratulations. All right. Great. Congratulations.
Great. So, a little piece of good news. Just normal good news. We can have that occasionally, right? Now, let me grab one of these. All right. So let's go to Drool. I have to say, like, most of this stuff I can spot what it's about and what the nature of it is. But you know me, I like to be kept on my toes. I like to be surprised. I like to, see a clip that I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? They've been caught. This would be Kash Patel and Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, or just two of them, or Cash caught. He's surrounded in red. So they caught him, or he caught them. And also doing what? Besides, obviously with Tucker, it was just hanging out in truck stops, getting scratches on his sides.
FBI Director Kash Patel's girlfriend lays out the case that Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and others are linked to a foreign influence operation.
All right, so he's using his semi-mocking tone. I don't expect him to take a real side on this issue because he's a pathological fence sitter. But yeah, I'll show you her post in a second.
I have just the solution. I'm going to bash my face clavicular style with this gavel until I can't think anymore because
well, then what, a couple taps?
Because I am so tired of the retardation and insanity plaguing our culture. Guys, if this
our culture, fuck you. Neither of those. The infighting on your side is not our culture.
This table didn't.
I'm a baseball / football / hockey, honestly. Apple, blueberry, and strawberry pie. American flag, 4th of July, fireworksy, grilling meats. Ice skiing and snow skiing and water skiing and ice skating and roller skating, all this. I just put it all together. I'm that kind of an American. I'm here to have I'm an idea man, Chuck. Okay. This is your culture. This is your fucking problem.
Weigh over 1,000 pounds, I'd flip it over. I'm not kidding. This table actually weighs thousands of pounds. Guys,
yeah, we're all very impressed.
I'm so tremendously demoralized. I am
okay. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Ready to go in the other room and play video games for the next week straight. We have very serious problems in this country. Gen Z are struggling to buy houses. They can't do it. They're struggling to afford food. They're not finding jobs.
Yeah, but you didn't vote for the lady who gave a shit about that, so we thought you didn't give a shit about that. Sorry. You voted for Trump, though. Wasn't that the point? I mean, wasn't one of the goals to make these fuckers pay, I guess?
Men are checking out, and I go...
Speak for yourself.
on X, and boy, is it a maelstrom of just retardation.
Yeah, by design.
Now, in all fairness, maybe Kash Patel's country singer girlfriend is correct, and Tucker, Candace, and others got together, and with our powers combined, we are a Russian psyop.
I wouldn't bring that up if I were you. You took money from Tenet Media.
I'm not playing any stupid games because the Democrats tried doing the exact same thing to me. I just don't care. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they didn't try to do it to you. You did it to yourself. It was a real thing.
None of this addresses the core problems this country is facing. And boy, do I just feel like we can stick on some Roman Republic failure meme or analogy. Can we just go back to simpler times when all men cared about was the fall of Rome? Well,
what?
Well, there was a point where all men cared about was the fall of Rome. And now they just don't care about any of it. And I don't blame them because I feel it in my heart of hearts. I am so bored and so tired and so exhausted by this psychobabble retardation. When I'm sitting here being like, God.
Sorry, are you just going to drop R-bombs just because you lack the skill, mental capacity, or grammar or vocabulary to articulate yourself in any other way?
As I'm trying to run a business, okay? I am stressed out because
this is your business. You're in the firebrand news business. I don't know what's hard about this. Like, you would think this is pretty fucking noisy. You could, make hay while the sun shines.
Food prices are up. Gas prices are up. We've got war. We're not getting the SAVE Act passed. Everything we're fighting for feels like we're just being bashed in the face over and over again.
Well, I would say that, you passed the big BS bill last year, and that was the be-all, end-all. He raised the debt ceiling $5 trillion and spent it immediately. So you got to be getting something.
Killer style with the gavel. But rest assured, all of the political complaints and all the hubbub nonsense you see, it's like the only thing anyone cares about at this point is Charlie Kirk, the Jews. I don't care, guys. I would much rather make a video about like the latest character release or I don't know, Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, the new season, because none of this seems to be going anywhere. But
well, no, it's definitely going somewhere. It's going down the shitter.
But forgive me for my passionate discontent.
You mean whining?
Let me give you the news on what the claim is about this influence operation. I actually have another theory. I'll lob at you. Men quit, we done, and there's not that many guys remaining. And because of this, political content, which has always been around 80% male viewership, they've dipped out. And many of these content...
Oh, okay. So I get it. So his viewership fell off a fucking cliff because even the dipshit dudes who are MAGA are tired of hearing him, I guess, complain about the fence post up his ass. This is the post that he's talking about. If we can not bury the fucking lead. Alexis Wilkins is Kash Patel's girlfriend, and she wrote a 13-post thread on Shitter about how there's a foreign influence operation trying to destroy the Trump administration, and she knows because they try to do the same thing to her. Okay, so a foreign-linked influence network has been running coordinated operations against the Trump administration for 22 months. I know it's real because they ran one against me. I was targeted in something I knew was far from organic. It's because Twitter's full of bots. I was targeted in something I knew was far from organic. This level of media is isolating, unwanted, and unwarranted. That's debatable. There was nobody to help. Nobody to jump in and say, this is a false op and help me. Well, I don't believe in problems without solutions, so I've spent the last few months learning to build programs to utilize publicly available information to prove that this is way bigger than me. This is about creating chaos in the Republican Party. Too late. It's about the organized effort to lose Republicans the midterms and subvert President Trump's agenda, and I have the data for you to see. In July 2025, I was falsely labeled a Mossad spy in a coordinated campaign designated to isolate an official of the U.S. government by using the person publicly nearest to him, me. So they called you a Mossad agent because they couldn't figure out why Kash Patel was saying and doing the things he did. And so they basically, whenever there's a murder, they always expect the spouse. In a situation of where someone murders their values, I guess it's the same blame scheme. All right. Across the full operation, July's events and others dating back to 2024, 6 chapters, 22 months. The data shows 3.1 million retweeted engagements. 80% of all activity was pure amplification. 659 accounts retweeted the same post. Some retweeted 1 second part. 15 pairs retweeted within 10 seconds of each other. When content spreads organically, timing is random. People check their feeds at different moments. They don't retweet the same post within seconds of strangers they've never met. 54 tweets in a single hour at peak. 863,568 total retweet engagements in this chapter alone. That's not a conversation. That's a weapon. The network has a trail. Catholics for Catholics lists General Flynn as a current senior advisor on their website. Flynn is the anchor of a digital infrastructure that has been repeatedly activated at a very major Republican fracture point over 22 months of documented data. The same accounts appear every chapter. This network does not rebuild between deployments. It stays ready. So she thinks Michael Flynn is in this foreign influence campaign thing, that he runs this. P.S. Trump's DOJ just paid Michael Flynn $50 million. They settled his lawsuit for $50 million. AKA paid him off to keep his fucking mouth shut. All right. Chapter 1, May 2024, 10 days before the Butler assassination attempt. Ivan Raiklin, former Green Beret, former Defense Intelligence Agency board member of Flynn's nonprofit America's Future, posts directly to Elon Musk and J.D. Vance. Jen Flynn would make Trump assassination proof. 166 retweets, 14 tightly clustered time windows, amplified within 1 second. Chapter 2. So apparently that guy was in on the assassination. Is what she's not implying. It's the coward's way. She's allowing for the inference therein. I'm just asking questions. Okay, chapter 2. July 2025, a coordinated narrative falsely identifies the FBI director's girlfriend as a Mossad honeypot. Well, I think you got a thumb on the scale on that one. The origin post, the original post, from a supplement influencer with 1.1 million followers built through COVID medical freedom movement, gets so their QAnon account gets a labeled inorganic seeming uncommon 20 million views. This is the network's method: anonymous mass deployment, then credentialed amplification. The connection runs in both directions. RT.com posted about me and slightly offense amplified RT's content. When Rift TV posted, a military journalist based in Moscow hosting content on a Kremlin-adjacent Orthodox TV channel amplified it back out. The same loop, same network, running in both. Russia. Legit targets generated a single post about Alexis Wilkins that received 677 retweets in coordinated fashion. That is the decay. The foreign amplification is documented. RT.com, which is the U.S. State Department, describes as part of Russia's intelligence apparatus, posted about me by name. When they did, the accounts that amplified included the official Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and a journalist based in Tehran. RT.com ranks in the top 15 amplifiers across our entire 22-month data set. So the Russians, according to Alexis Wilkins, Kash Patel's beard, are attacking her to get to Kash Patel to keep him from doing something. I'm not sure what. Because he seems fairly fucking friendly. Chapter 3, September 2025. Charlie Kirk is assassinated. Within hours, Candace Owens publicly attributes the killing to Israel and targets Kirk's widow by name. Many of the same accounts active in the July 2025 Honeypot chapter activate immediately. A moment of natural Republican unity is converted within hours into one of the most sustained fracture points of the year. Joe Kent, March 17, 2026, Chapter 4. Joe Kent resigns as NCTC director. That same day, Catholics for Catholics, which is the Mike Flynn organization, a Flynn-associated organization, announces Kent as at their Washington gala. Within 24 hours, Tucker Carlson interviewed. Within 72 hours, Kent on stage with Flynn and Candace Owens at the Waldorf Astoria. The data across all 6 chapters: 3,166,207 retweet engagements, 80% amplification rate, abnormal volumes of accounts documented across multiple chapters spanning 22 months. The same accounts that were active before Butler in 2024 are active in the Kent chapter in 2026. This is not a series of separate events. It is a single persistent infrastructure activated at each fracture point. And there's all the retweet business. These are yeah, you hate to see it, you know. It's pitiful. So sad. She should tell Trump that the Russians are fucking with her, and that Vladimir Putin has organized part of it to undermine Kash Patel and create a divide within the Republican Party to make sure they lose. Maybe we'll put the sanctions back on. All right. What RT was telling Americans the entire time throughout March 2026, RT published Alexander Dugin, Putin's ideological philosopher, Putin's brain, they call him, declaring MAGA more than dead, worse than dead. It's now an undead, a ghoul. The Flynn network was manufacturing and fracturing that fracture domestically. RT was amplifying it internationally. Two parts of the same operation are running simultaneously in the same feeds, and Trump fell for it again. Okay, during an active U.S. military conflict, accounts in this network posted verbatim, refuse to enlist in or remain fighting for the U.S. military. Candace Owens posted publicly, may American troops take his lead following Kent's resignation in protest of the Iran war. Whether intentional or not, that content distributed at scale by this infrastructure during an active conflict is functionally anti-enlistment messaging. The data shows it was carried by the same network, documented across all 5 chapters. Man, if she writes country songs like this, they're going to be dense. Honestly, Alexis, I don't think we can take another chorus. All right. The goal of this operation is not to win a political argument, but to make the fracture feel permanent, to make Republicans believe their movement is over, to make soldiers feel the war isn't worth fighting, to make the government and its officials look unstable, and create media that creates more problematic media. Each chapter hits a different pressure point. The network, the timing, and the Russian amplification are consistent across all 5. That consistency is the signature. My data set, every account, every chapter, every documented overlap will be published in full. The methodology used in the official X API everywhere. Everything here is independently verifiable. This is all I can do to protect myself. Maybe others will have more information that will be helpful. But this is what I've learned to do because of this. I believe in the conservative movement. I voted for President Trump's agenda. That doesn't necessarily mean she voted for him. That's interesting. And I refuse to see it fractured for the benefit of our adversaries. This doesn't even scratch the surface of who might be getting paid by whom. This is all matrixed, publicly available information. MAGA doesn't have an approval problem. It has an infiltration problem. And it was never about me. There's her whole little report. AI's something else, man. You could just bitch into the thing and go, you know that thing I've been whining about for like fucking weeks? Can you put a report together about that? Thank you. And a bunch of tweets that I can post in order. Fuck you. That's how she got it. You get there's a habit that ChatGPT has where it bars out information when it makes graphics for you. It's a big fan of that design on the left right there. I'm not saying anything, Iran data. I'm asking you to draw your own conclusions. Cowardice. And then Hodge twins. Oh, okay. You proved nothing about General Flynn, and this sounds exactly like something a Mossad honeypot would say. Well, I guess there's no pleasing some people. That's just what Jesus said, sir. So, needless to say, the self-cannibalization of the Republican human centipede commences apace. Now, how am I doing on time? Okay. So, Speaker Johnson is defending the fact that Donald Trump, and in trying to pass the SAVE Act, they've got a big thing in there that kind of gets rid of mail-in voting. And Trump and Barron and Melania all voted by mail.
President Trump has railed against mail-in voting as rigged. He said it's a form of cheating as recently as Monday. But he's also called on Congress to do away with certain types of mail-in voting in certain circumstances. But in yesterday's special election in Florida, he voted by mail. How do you square those two statements?
Look, I think some states have handled mail-in balloting well. I think Florida...
Red states, for example.
Is a good example of that. They don't allow fraud, and they have great systems.
How the fuck do you not allow fraud? It's either all flawed or it fucking ain't.
I mean, I was talking yesterday to Laurel Lee, one of our colleagues here in the House, and she used to help run elections in the state of Florida, and she talked about how many great processes they have in place to ensure that you don't have a lot of fraud. But that is not true.
Of the villages, for example. Now, it's interesting that the only real evidence we have of a coordinated voter fraud came from the villages, which went for Trump, and it was people who were voting 3-4 times for him.
In other parts
That's in Florida.
of the country, and that is the concern, especially in a state like California or states where they just send mail-in ballots to everyone for no reason whatsoever.
Well, they didn't do that, and they've never done that. They did it for COVID, and that was the reason. And it was a pretty fucking good reason. Weird things about California is they don't want their citizens dead.
It is a
whereas in Florida, they kind of count on it for the turnover.
Matter of common sense. It is an obvious thing that if you're mailing ballots out, inherently, it opens the door, at least the possibility of fraud. It's much easier to patrol that election integrity if you're making people come in person, show a photo ID, and prove who they are. Obviously, that's an obvious thing. It should not be a controversial notion. That's what the president's talking about. That's what we have talked about at long length.
So where do they get that ID?
Some states do it a lot better than others, but it doesn't mean it's not a.
You mean like Colorado, which is entirely that way, and Republicans have won a bunch of seats there with no fucking problem
Elsewhere in the country, and that's why we continue to advance every election integrity measure that we can. Because
like California just had Democratic and Republican governors back and forth. If there's a sign of a state not being corrupt in elections, it's how often it has vacillated back and forth between parties. The argument is that the entrenched states, if you're going to argue that they're keeping themselves in power, like Florida, like most red states, that would be more of a sign of fraud than a state that like where fucking Schwarzenegger fucking won.
Again, if you don't have free and fair elections in a constitutional republic, you cannot maintain it. And there's hardly a more important issue than that. And that's where the president's hung up on it, and us as well. Thank you.
President Trump.
He voted that way. Melania and Barron voted that way. Now, I don't. When was this thing with Kilmeade saying we should just kill homeless people? I think this was a while back, if I'm not mistaken. It just was in the feed, and I think it might deserve a revisit.
Billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to this point?
Right.
Or involuntary lethal injection. Just kill them at that point. This is Fox News. This is by the way, this isn't just Fox News. This is their morning show. So tell me again about the lesser of two evils. I'm all fucking ears. Tell me how there's really no difference between Biden and Trump, or Biden and Bush, or Obama and Trump, or Obama and Bush. Go ahead. Somebody fucking explain to me how, like, when's the last time you saw somebody on CNN or MS Now or any of these other sites go, you know what, maybe we could solve the homeless problem by, fucking elephant darting them with fentanyl. Just kill them. When's the last time you heard a channel allegedly on our side of the aisle, or even one that isn't, just straight down the middle, suggests that? That's the fucking Fox morning show. That's the time of the day when they, unless there's a specific war on, most of the time they're doing fucking like how to make tacos at home and throwing out, I don't know, softball pitches and talking about how, like, volleyball ain't what it used to be or some shit. Like showing off lines of purses. That's what morning shows are for. It's noise in the background while people eat breakfast. And Brian Kilmeade is a Trump fan. And Trump is a Brian Kilmeade fan. And Brian Kilmeade's solution to homelessness is lethal injection. Pro-life. Every sperm is sacred. Okay, now I don't know which one to finish on because I hate these people. I don't like them. We've got Jillian Michaels, who is, I got to say, very caramelized photo here. Very cleaned up. And then, of course, this shithead. It's all coming out. Whistleblower exposes everything. Well, I guess if we want to know about everything.
I knew at this point, if we make a film to expose this truth, we're never going to come back from this.
Dun, dun. Sorry, I should have done that personally. Beg your pardon.
I also would love you to cover your involvement in that case where there were them young kids that were wearing, I think, like MAGA hats or Trump hats, and they were at some public protest. And the way that the story was first told was, oh, these awful children were confronting a Native American man.
The narrative was, this team
This chopped to shit.
of Catholic students from Kentucky, racist 14 and 15-year-old white boys.
A disturbing viral video shows a group of teens harassing and mocking him in the nation's capital.
Surrounded the Native Americans as they tried to conduct their first Indigenous Peoples March in Washington. The truth of the matter was these kids were coming from their own march, the Right for Life March, and they were told to meet on the stairs, and they were just standing there minding their own business. And the crime was they bought red hats so that they could identify each other as they were in the march. And they found a vendor that was selling $5 red MAGA hats. Some of the kids had no idea even what that meant.
Wow.
Some of them did, and they just thought it was funny. That was their crime. So as soon as they were spotted on the stairs all wearing these red hats, the Native...
Yeah, the dude with the drum is a dick, and is like he was engaged in some gnarly stuff. I think he's passed away since. But yeah, the idea was that he walked up and split the crowd and it was confrontational about them. And again, here's how this shakes out, okay? This is how this shakes out. Those are kids, and if they're stupid, they're still kids. In any situation where it's a coin flip between kids and grown adults, and there's a confrontation about it, that story's very old. It's the adults that are responsible. Sorry.
This group of activists approached them, created a scenario that these kids surrounded them and started chanting, "Build the wall," around these Native Americans. So it was a perfect headline to show what Donald Trump was creating in America with now these young kids are disrespecting the original Americans and saying, let's build a wall around them. So I was furious. I bought it. And we jumped in with my team. We said, let's make a video to expose these little racists. And it took us all of 3 hours to watch one live stream that was 2.5 hours long. And I looked at my team and I said, this is bullshit. Like these.
Well, it's something we all confront.
This is some bullshit.
Yeah, we know this. I don't know why the fuck he thinks this is new news. Good Lord. All right, so we'll jump over to Jillian then, since Russell's trying to bore us so that we all doze off and he can sneak out of the room without facing the 8 rape charges he has. All right, so this is Gillian.
Now, off the top...
Is this Ghislaine Michaels? Is that her name? Yeah.
I have to give it to Joe Kent. He's a former Green Beret. This guy has done 11 combat tours. He's a badass, and his first wife was an absolute badass. She was a Navy cryptologist who would deploy with the SEALs, and she was tragically killed by an ISIS suicide bomber in Syria in 2019. And I also want to point out that the president himself is the one who tapped Kent to become the director of counterintelligence.
Yeah. Apparently, he was inspired by the fact that he'd lost his congressional race twice. And that his wife was dead.
This is not a guy who could...
And that maybe Trump thought he had moved on quickly, which meant Trump thought he was a callous, monstrous woman hater, and so they would have something to talk about.
Be casually dismissed as a kook or a quack. But that double-edged sword cuts both ways. And I say this because Kent's total 180 of the issues at hand make no sense. Why the sudden flip-flop in...
Yeah, why the sudden flip-flop? Why turn old English gay so quickly? Flip to being a fop. And also not fast at all. It was tested in theory based on what he said. And again, I don't necessarily have a responsibility to defend the ideas of a current or former maggot. That's not the issue. But apparently, the bombing of Iran last year, he found a move too far, but stuffed it back in and went back to work after it was over fairly quickly, and thought, okay, well, it could have been worse, and it's the boss's decision, and I didn't like it, but on we go. And then we did it again. That was the trigger. Like, oh, it's not a one-off. This is regime change.
In the last 3 months, I mean, the guy certainly can't claim that new info came to light that made him.
Yeah, he can. Trump decided to go to war with Iran, and he knew that Joe Kent in his position knew that they were not any closer to a nuclear bomb than they were, certainly before it had been obliterated, and definitely not after.
Reverse his Middle Eastern policy opinions entirely.
No, it's not entirely.
I mean, Kent claims Iran is not an imminent threat, but Kent himself has gone on the record numerous times, by the way, for years, stating that Iran is a threat and must.
Yeah, the threat versus imminent threat is a thing. And you handle a threat differently than you handle an imminent threat. For example, someone walks up to you in a parking lot and you don't know them and they're speaking loudly and angrily, but you don't see a weapon. You can negotiate your way back towards the building. You can get in your car and just drive away and all that kind of stuff. But when someone has their hand on a gun and you can visibly see it, it changes your behavior. That would be imminent threat versus general threat.
Be dealt with. Here's one of his tweets to the president that resurfaced from back in 2020, and it says, "At the real Donald Trump, we shouldn't sit back and wait for the next attack.
1/8/20.
Wipe Iran's ballistic capability out and get our troops out of Iraq."
I think it meant the Iran's ballistic capability in Iraq. But, I mean, it doesn't matter.
They're only targets now. No U.S. wounded in action or killed in action is a tribute to the professionalism of our military and intel, meaning if there are no deaths and there are no injuries, it's not because Iran didn't try to kill our people. It's because they were so awesome they managed to evade death. All right, and then we've got a clip of Kent going on Sean Ryan's podcast as recently as 2025, stating that our troops have been attacked over 150 times by Iranian proxies. Take a look.
They're still registering for the draft, aren't they? Like that's the logical conclusion to the direction that we're heading in right now, unless we make some serious changes.
I mean, I've already heard rumors that Fifth Group is going to be sending guys to Iraq because of the escalated situation with Iran now.
Yeah. I mean, most Americans aren't aware of it. Our troops in Iraq and Syria have been attacked 150 plus times by Iranian proxies. And when we say Iranian proxies,
also, yes, we have.
You got to be clear on what that is. That's the Iraqi government that we pay. Because after the Iraqi military, we spent $2 trillion on, surrendered to ISIS, we had to go back in there in very short order and stand the military back up again. And guess who filled the breach? The Shia militias controlled by Iran did. And the Iraqi government's controlled by Iran. So these are.
And one more for good measure. Here's Sebastian Gorka.
Oh, God. Gorka!
He's the deputy assistant to the president himself. He's the senior director for counterterrorism and a longtime friend of Kent's, saying that up until only 3 months ago, Kent was singing a different tune.
Things have changed materially on the ground. We do agree that we're in a war with Iran. There's a big difference between talking a big game and bullshitting and then actually doing it. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe he just is freaked out by, we have officially entered the
That was just bullshit, Joel.
Era.
He wrote in his resignation letter, Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. In response, you wrote on X, quote, "He was a man without honor, and you disgrace." Just to be clear, was he wrong about those allegations?
Well, you could ask him, because 3 months ago he said the exact opposite of what he said in his disgraceful resignation letter. So either he was lying.
Well, we also hadn't attacked Iran this much. We did the short bombing and gotten out, so he was probably chuffed on
then,
that.
or he's lying now,
or the situation changed and he decided he'd had enough.
Or most likely because he's not a principal, he's not a cabinet member. He is not in those meetings where that exquisite intelligence is provided.
What? Why would he be short on intelligence?
He said Iran.
He's the deputy director of the counterterrorism center. The counterterrorism center, as in, what do you think is the Irish committing terrorism in the United States? What do you think this is, 1920?
Has to be dealt with. The president is correct a scant few weeks ago. So what changed, Joe?
We invaded. We obliterated their nukes last time and said it was over, and then it wasn't over. We moved a giant armada there, and then we attacked. In a way, and without any plan for keeping the Strait of Hormuz open, and then now we're moving troops in. He got a heads up on that, apparently. Am I losing my mind here?
What do you think? Personally speaking,
I think he's a dick. And I'm not afraid to say it.
I stand by what I said. He's an utter disgrace.
What about the guy that hired him? Thoughts? Prayers?
I'll tell you the voicemail I left him yesterday. You are an utter disgrace to the uniform you once wore, to the republic for which it stands, and the fact that you used the name of your late wife as a political cudgel against the elected president and commander-in-chief is utterly inexcusable.
What? How in the world?
So this flip-flop...
No, fuck you. What the fuck does that mean? He name-dropped his wife as an example of blowback? You think?
It's just totally bizarre. It's bizarre!
It's not at all. It's not at all bizarre. Especially considering Trump surrounds himself with like suck-ups and sycophants and bullshit artists, and a lot of them don't actually think the trigger will get pulled. They think it's all show.
It's one thing for this guy to know nothing and give information, but he was hired because of his knowledge base. And he's been consistent throughout his entire career claiming that Iran was a threat until 3 months ago. All right.
Wait, Trump claims they were a threat until 3 months ago. Well, 7 months ago. We fucking bombed them, right?
Guys, if you like this clip and you want to...
Yeah, I don't. I was hoping I would, but I really thought it was a waste of fucking time, genuinely. I didn't, yeah. I don't know why I would expect more from you. That's my fault. It's a failure on my part. You know, I'm a second chance kind of a guy. It's just how I roll. All right, let me finish this off because I get it. This one's short. So CBN is going to be doing Operation Mumbo Jumbo Drop. They're going to drop Bibles behind. The doors are opening. Millions of Bibles poised for Iran as regime crumbles. They're going to carpet bomb Iran with Bibles now. Hopefully they're the small, like, or maybe e-reader style. Maybe they're just dropping promo codes on cards for a download. If the internet goes up, because if they ever grab, my Bible, they're screwed. That'll take somebody out. I hope not. That would not be a good use of the Bible. I'm just saying. So let's see.
As airstrikes continue.
You know what? It's nice that the Christian Broadcasting Network is as high on its own supply of bomb videos from the Pentagon as everybody else, as Greg Kelly is.
To pound Iran, Christians there are praying for God to step in and bring freedom to their country.
Yeah, I think you got it. I think this is kind of a DIY situation, honestly.
They're still gathering and they're still praying. And I think they're a lot more cautious now. They're really kind of staying closer to home if they can.
Yeah, because of the bombing.
Patrick Klein, president of Vision
This guy looks as dumbfounded as I feel.
Beyond Borders, tells CBN News he and his Bible smuggling team recently met in Armenia. just a stone's throw from the Iranian border.
A lot of trucks, about 1,000 oil tankers coming across the border every day, carrying oil to Western Europe. So it's a great border, and we just went with our team and prayed at the border and asked the Lord to open the borders.
The doors are going to open up, and if they do, it's going to be a flood. It's going to be a flood that opens.
Which directions
up?
Dirk Smith, vice president at Eastern European Mission, says his team is ready to send a huge shipment of children's and teen Bibles, plus other Christian books and
teen Bibles
into Iran.
Some Christians
what are they, manga or?
You may be getting ahead of God here. They warn that civil war and insurgency could soon make Iran too dangerous for spreading the gospel. How do you respond to that?
Too dangerous to spread the gospel? How does that work? I guess I would ask somebody.
I don't know. Ask those 12 dudes that were beheaded by ISIS, I think.
Find me the scripture. You know, we pray for safety a lot. I find.
Yeah, like pussies. What the hell? Who does that? This guy's in the fight. Look at him. He's, anything could happen. That metal shelf fall right over. This microphone was made in China. Could electrocute him. That plant could turn out to be poisonous. We don't know.
Isn't that interesting? I go to church and I hear, keep us safe. And I'm like, I don't know that I find that in the Bible. I don't find a prayer for safety.
Well, I mean, it's a temporary safety. Obviously, when Armageddon comes, it's going to get, obviously a bit squirrely. The whole Antichrist and demons, opening of the seals, pestilence, 4 horsemen.
How is something too risky? Is it ever too risky to?
I don't know. I'm just saying maybe where. Never mind.
Share the gospel of Jesus with someone.
Smith believes God will answer prayer in a big way.
Not in 1,000 tiny ways.
Something like a Berlin Wall moment.
Sorry. What is that guy doing to the wall?
In other words, he expects a historic change.
I was expecting something totally different.
And dramatic breakthrough that changes everything.
Our prayer is that we're prepared. We're ready to go. And that was what happened when the wall came down in '89. The opportunity came, and again, when we pray, God will open those doors, and that's what happened.
Yeah, and is there a flood behind the doors, and is it coming your way?
When the wall came down with the Soviet Union.
Yeah, I noticed those people are out in the streets, and you're in a cute little room.
And we were able to walk in and distribute hundreds of thousands of Bibles.
Klein urges Christians worldwide to pray for a future where every Iranian can own a Bible and read it freely.
One man just got one, and he was so grateful.
How grateful was he? Sorry.
He said, now I have the truth for myself. I can read the Word of God anytime I want, day or night. And he's just so grateful.
Was it the glow-in-the-dark version?
To have the Word of God. We believe God is going to change Iran, and I believe it's going to affect the whole Islamic world.
Gary.
Yeah. Well, keep thinking that, buddy. Because, I got to tell you, it's not looking good over here. All right. I want to do this one real quick. I guess this is Jim McGovern on the floor of the House, or the Senate rather, or House. Yeah.
I would say
this is the well, you'll see. These were the lines at the airport. I have this to look forward to because I'm red-eyeing into Chicago and flying right back because I don't want to be away from my girl for a full 24 hours. So I will be back home within 24 hours from the march this weekend.
I want to thank the gentlelady from Indiana for yielding me the customary 30 minutes, and I yield myself such time as it may consume.
Gentleman's recognized.
Oh my God, Mr. Speaker. It is pretty unbelievable that this is what House Republicans are spending time on right now. Wow. I mean, every time I think you can't do any worse, my Republican friends always defy expectations. People are standing in long lines at airports. Flights are delayed. Travelers are confused and they are frustrated.
And in my defense, as a traveler, I operate in a constant state of confused and frustrated. So just keeps me on my toes, you know.
TSA officers are stretched thin, exhausted.
They always seem that way.
Being jerked around because Republicans cannot govern responsibly, even though they control everything. Now, let me set the record straight from the outset. Democrats are ready to fund the people and agencies that actually protect the public. TSA, FEMA, the Coast Guard, we agree they need full funding. And I think there's more than a few Republicans who would join with us in that.
Yeah, but you can't bring a bill up to the floor to...
Just last night in the Rules Committee, 2 Republican members, including...
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Good Lord. Thank you so much for that super chat. Bless you. It's huge.
The gentlelady from Indiana voted with Democrats on a motion...
Thanks. Oh my... Be well, thank you.
The
I will be all right. I will keep, you know...
Thank you for doing
my
that.
thing.
But that vote failed because Republicans voted against making it an order. But clearly there has to be some bipartisan appetite to try to get this thing resolved.
Yeah, not really. You know, I mean, the tough part about traveling is that most Republicans are persona non grata even in their home state, so they don't want to fly. They want an excuse to stay home. It's kind of screwed, but it's true.
I mean, take, for instance, Senate Majority Leader John Thune. I mean, the Republican who offered a deal to the department, offered a deal to fund the department outside of ICE, which, by the way, already has years of funding due to the Republicans' big, ugly bill. You know, the big, ugly bill, the bill that gave millionaires and billionaires tax cuts, that cut SNAP by $200 billion, that cut Medicaid by $1 trillion. They actually snuck in more funding for ICE and CBP in that. The Republican manufactured crisis could have been over, but that deal was shot down by Trump, who said in Republican Senator John
By the way, that's the key part that I wanted to show this was that the Republicans are actually ready to make a deal on this and actually get stuff funded, and Trump called and scuttled it. So I would like to put to rest the idea that Trump is a deal maker once and for all. Can we stop with this bullshit? Can we please just stop pretending this is a thing? This is one of those like floating turd in a punch bowl narratives that's just been sitting there, and there is no evidence to back it up. None. There has never been a situation where that wasn't a crime in process, where Trump got a deal on something. The only deal that you could say he got where it was like he ran away with the money and it was perfect and all this kind of shit that didn't cadaver later or be shut down or had to move on or leverage, everything he had to keep it from going under, was the house that he and Jeffrey Epstein had a fight over. They both were going to sell it to the same Russian so he could bulldoze it and use it as a money laundering exercise. So it didn't matter how much they paid for it because they knew they were going to make double. It's the only deal I can think of that was actually, worked out. He's been able to bully some people, and he certainly is able to bully more people now. He bullied tenants groups and that kind of stuff in the New York courts. He basically had enough money compared to them to, twist the litigation into costing them more than they would have been awarded, so he gets around that. But what deal? What's the big, oh shit, he's bought properties because he had the money or he could get the loans. But he didn't get them. They didn't turn out great. They didn't become like these gangbusters, investments that were amazing at all, ever. And if he was a great deal maker, why is anything locked up in the House or the Senate? If he's a great deal maker, if he's an amazing deal maker, then why can't he personally negotiate a bridge between both parties? He didn't make any of those tariff deals. He threatened people with power he didn't have, and the SCOTUS took his fucking toy away. Katie says, it's 7 p.m. Do you know where my husband is? I think he's at the Scottish Rite in St. Paul, but who knows? Yeah. I hope so. It's a good place to be. So that for real, what deal is the most is something that's amazing that he got that somebody else wouldn't have gotten? Joe Biden, with basically the same split in the House and in the Senate, got an infrastructure bill passed when we hadn't had one in like 26 years. That's a deal maker. Joe Biden sold the oil that was in the strategic reserve low, or sorry, sold it high, and then bought back and refilled it low when the price dipped, because they knew there was going to be a glut and they waited for it. That's a deal maker. I have seen no evidence whatsoever other than big like buildings and stuff where he got loans he did not deserve that allowed him to purchase these things, that says he somehow was a master negotiator. He certainly isn't talking about the deals he walked away from that were good. And most of us know about Trump University, Trump Steaks, Trump Airlines, Trump's fucking football bullshit, his vodka. His golf courses are dumps. Mar-a-Lago smells and it's in the path of the fucking airport. How is that a deal? The fuck are you talking about? I know he didn't write the book. That's another one. Like, he didn't write the book, The Art of the Deal. So that automatically should just dismiss out of hand that he is some sort of deal maker. He couldn't even make a deal between his hand and a fucking pen. The deal was $1.5 billion market manipulation. That's other people doing that for him. That's not him. And he didn't negotiate it. He just tricked maggots into voting for him. Still, that's not even a deal. He just lied. Show me the one that worked out. I'm serious. Especially in the areas where, like, his fucking buildings that he had to, like, refinance multiple times. Get the fuck out of here. The entire argument is absurd. I'm not, it will not stand. I will not allow it to stand anymore. Stop it. Stop pretending he's a good, it's right up there with he's a master of the media. No, he isn't. He's a bunch of gullible fucks out there, and he managed to build a corral for them. Or they built their own and just were waiting for some dumbass to show up and point him in the wrong direction. This aggression will not stand, man. It's not an auto pen, right? Al Capone didn't make great deals. Fucking Bernie Madoff didn't make great deals. Just because people are crooks and they can make money, by no means I see no evidence. That's all I'm saying. I see no evidence that he's good at deals. I'm welcome to hear it. If anybody knows of an amazing building he bought and then turned around and it became an amazing thing, and it was even a classic of New York or Florida real estate, let me fucking hear it. Yeah, how is it a deal if you don't pay people? Exactly. Like, he cheated his contractors. He lies. He like manipulates the courts, freezes people up with motions and that kind of stuff. He's not a deal maker. That's why he couldn't make one in Ukraine. That's why he couldn't make one in Gaza. He basically used Biden's plus 10 months of bombing. Bibi would sign on to it if he just let him bomb it for another 10 months. That was it. So, yeah, not a master media manipulator. There's just a bunch of gullible bastards out there. And definitely not a deal maker. Haven't seen the deals. He's bought and sold shit. So have a lot of other people. That ain't special. If you got money that you didn't earn, or money that somebody gives you for, compromising reasons like Putin and Deutsche Bank, then that's not a deal. You got leveraged. And you were like, it's a fucking branding exercise. what fucking deal? It's just lame. Anyway, so on that note, I love you guys. I will see you later. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. Tomorrow, Summer has chemo. So after she's done, she's going to come back to the house. I don't know how she's going to feel. She should be okay. It's usually a couple of days afterwards. But I'm going to, you know, I will have a show tomorrow. But if I'm running a little late, that's, you know, just that's what's happening. Or if I have to cut off early so I can make her dinner or something like that, just thank you for understanding. I appreciate you guys a lot. And to that end, off we go. It is the end times. Or is it? Actually not. It might be. Possibly. Or it's the end-ish of the beginning. Ish. Something like that.
Wait, right, bow, pull tight, crown like cold, winter light.